In this post-Brexit Britain, it's not just politics that's driving us apart, it's parking. Today, we are parking more antisocially than ever before. In our car parks, on our roads, outside our schools.
One lunatic put 6 schools in one road.
But there are some of us that are fighting back. Our civil enforcement officers.
You're in a disabled bay.
5 minutes, no problem.
No 5 minutes. It's an instant ticket. He's preventing someone disabled from using this bay.
People like parent and child parking campaigner Lisa Mallion.
Just because you've got a car seat in your car does not mean you can park here without a child. Can we do you a deal?
I don't need a deal.
Don't park here again, sir.
And inventor Yannick Reid.
And there's someone about to park on the white zigzag lines.
You know, we've had a kid knocked over, so it's really serious.
We'll join them on the front line as they bravely battle to defeat the bane of Britain, parking. The Department for Transport recently cited research which claims the average driver spends 106 days during their lifetime looking for parking spaces. Many of us just don't have the patience and try to find shortcuts.
People don't care where they park, they just will park anywhere.
As individuals, we become completely self-centred.
That's causing havoc across the country.
It's just chaos.
It's anyone and everyone out for themselves.
Choking our roads with congestion.
Too many cars for too little spaces.
And generally making our lives a misery.
It's just a nightmare, isn't it?
Nowhere is it more evident than in our car parks. And here in Britain, it's the parent and child bays that are the most vulnerable to selfish parking. The extra-wide parking spaces are vital for parents trying to extract their screaming babies or deal with tempestuous toddlers. And with nearly 700,000 babies born last year and around 7.5 million under 10-year-olds, these spaces are in demand. Yet 1 in 10 of us admit to parking in them, without a child in sight. Young mother Lisa Mallion is determined to change that.
Right then, what else can we find that's purple?
So I didn't know this was a problem at all until I was 8 months pregnant, and I'd left my car, I'd gone back to my car, and I thought there is no way that me and this bump are getting into the driver's seat.
Shall we park over here where there's lots of space?
I couldn't get in the passenger seat either, which left me with one option, to go through the boot. And I thought, I'm scared of putting my unborn child in danger, trying to, be a car park contortionist. And it was at that point that I thought, right, here we go, this has to change.
From her South London home, Lisa single-handedly launched the Give Me Space campaign 2 years ago. She now has over 4,000 supporters helping her to spread the word across the country.
They've signed the petition, so we're going to be taking this petition to government to ask them to actually now create a law. There's not enough spaces dedicated to parents and children.
Lisa spends her days generating support, lobbying government, and roaming the car parks of South London, educating us motorists in the importance of parent and child bays.
You see non-families using these spaces all the time. When I can, I'll go up to them and I'll ask them why they're parking here without a child. So a lady's just parked there, she's got a car seat but no child, so I'm just going to educate her about parking in these spaces. Hello! Excuse me, can I just talk to you about the fact that you've parked here without a child?
I'm going to pick up my child there.
OK, but you've not got a child now?
Yeah, but then he's shopping with my sister, so I'm picking them up.
The problem with people misusing these spaces is that they're putting a child's life at risk.
It's the importance of actually parking in these spaces when you have children.
Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah, can I give one of them for you to take away? Generally, they tell me a cock and bull story of why they're in the spaces, when the reality is they're for people who need the spaces to keep their family safe.
Stealing a parent and child space isn't against the law. Currently, it's more of a moral issue than a legal one.
Hello, sir. I was just wondering if you've got a child with you.
A child?
Yeah.
Yes, my wife could be in the shops.
Yeah, could be in the shops. Is she?
Why is this? Are you a police person?
I might be, yeah. I'm a mum of a child and I really want to keep my child safe, and people misusing the spaces. Just because you've got a car seat in your car does not mean you can park here without a child.
The people that park in parent and child spaces know exactly what they're doing.
That's all I have to say.
But the reality is, sir...
Hold on a second. My kid, she's 8 years old. She's with my wife. Thank you very much.
Why isn't she at school, sir?
Every time I approach somebody about parking...
Do you want to take one of the education packs?
I'm faced with the same type of person. Generally, men are worse than women. They think they're entitled to something that they're actually not entitled to.
You are not a policeman. You are not in any position to tell me whether a child exists or not. So you better stop it.
Should we do you a deal?
I don't need a deal.
Don't park here again, sir, without a child.
I hate people like you. Go to hell.
You're an ugly woman, look at this.
I'm ugly. You're vile and you're lazy.
You are ugly.
It's really fantastic when people do back you up.
We just want to have a baby, we want to park, and sometimes you can't park and then you see him getting out of his car and walking into the shops. And it's so frustrating, and they're always the one who give you abuse. But I just have to give it back because it makes me feel better. I can't let them walk off and just not say something. Makes me shake with anger.
Nobody likes being told that they're doing something wrong. All I'm doing is educating people that they shouldn't park there. There's all these other spaces in the car park that they could have used.
So your daughter...
Stop harassing me.
No, I'm not harassing you, madam. Are you in a space that's designed for children? So you're going to wait in the car for your sister now? Come out of the car and tell us why you're parking here. Sorry?
For me, I'm extremely passionate about it. I know that this campaign is going to create change, and I won't stop until it does.
Shame on you, lady.
They say the road to hell is paved with selfish parkers. And nowhere are our roads more hellish than our school gates. There are currently over 32,000 schools here in the UK and more than 8 million pupils. With around half of our school children being driven to the school gates, that's a lot of cars need parking. Every working day, around 8:30 in the morning and 3:30 in the afternoon, Britain is bedlam.
People do stop on the zigzags, on any kind of yellow lines, pavements. It's almost as if the world owes them a living kind of attitude.
The parking is horrendous. I don't think it's safe, and I think it's absolutely crazy.
It's dog eat dog, and the selfish behaviour of some parents is driving others mad.
It's just a quick rant. Outside schools, you've got them great big yellow zigzag lines, and this signs up, no parking, no parking. So why do you park on the yellow zigzag lines when kids is coming out of school? I'm getting right wound up with it.
But there's one street in Essex where it's arguably the worst in the country. Most of the time, Sawyers Hall Lane in Brentwood is a haven of calm and suburban tranquility. But for 2 hours a day, it's absolute carnage. There are an unbelievable 6 schools on this road, along with 2 care homes, an ambulance station, a doctor's surgery, a community hall, and a Buddhist commune.
One lunatic decided to put 6 schools in one road, which is a dead end.
I cannot imagine any place more horrible than this when it comes to parking.
The half-mile, no-through road has become a highway of horror. A frenzy of furious cars all in desperate pursuit of parking.
It's just horrendous. People park on double lines, zigzags, anywhere they can.
It's so crazy around here that we have no choice but to park on double yellow line. Am I going to be in trouble for that?
There's no other places to park sometimes. We got about 4 tickets last year.
I think 3 times I pay penalty, £70. I have to park on double yellow line.
Parking is a competitive sport, and some parents have taken to arriving before the school bell tolls.
In order to pick a child up at 3:20, you need to be here at 2:20.
It's horrible. I have to come here an hour early to find parking. While I'm waiting on the car, I read my Bible.
No!
An hour that cannot be wasted.
That's what we do every day.
So it's hell for parents. But imagine if you lived here.
Yeah, it must be a nightmare. I wouldn't like to live around here, basically.
Across Britain, residents and parents are at war.
So there's my vehicle. This is theirs on the school run. And that's the gap to play with. You shouldn't be blocking access to vehicles.
Okay?
Yes,
why are you doing that? Why?
And for the people who live off Sawyers Hall Lane, it's a daily nightmare.
It's mayhem. Absolutely mayhem.
You can have anything up to 30 to 40 cars down there at a really bad time.
Everybody around here cannot get out of their own driveways.
Their attitude is disgusting. They have no respect for the residents there.
How do you expect children to have respect for anything when their parents are flouting all the rules?
The residents of Treetops, a cul-de-sac off Sawyers Hall Lane, are not going to take it sitting down.
I've been in correspondence with Essex County Council. He says very often the CEOs approach a vehicle and upon starting the PCN issue process, the vehicle drives simply away. Therefore, long-term, it has no real impact as the parents simply return the next day or the day after. What I'd translate is, yes, we know about it, and basically we're ineffective. There should be vigilance and a determination to wipe out the problem.
We won't go away because it's an ongoing situation. It's not getting better, it's getting worse.
It's like the Wild West out there. And there's a feeling that if something is not done soon, a tragedy is just around the corner.
It's dangerous. You worry every day about kids getting knocked down.
Cars going up, cars going down, cars trying to pull out. It's dangerous. It is so dangerous.
On one of these days, in the not too far distant future, someone is going to get killed.
More than 500,000 collisions happened around our schools in a 5-year period, resulting in around 85,000 child casualties. But in Kingston, one innovative man is determined to stop this in its tracks. Father of 3, Yannick Reid, came up with an ingenious plan to try to combat the threat of dangerous parking outside his own kids' local school.
My daddy is quite different to other people's dads. He's someone who likes inventing.
Inventing what exactly?
There it goes. The type of inventor I am is more Heath Robinson than James Dyson. If I see something wrong, I want to get something done about it. Oh, here comes the car.
His inventions are a lot of the time really fun. He's helped the world.
Have you guessed what it is yet?
Up she goes.
It's a pop-up zebra crossing, of course.
If I saw an unsightly erection like this on the street, I would really, really like it. And I would stop, for sure. So it's inflatable. It just kind of, you switch it on and they inflate and then...
They're funny. Oh, it looks great.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
I moved here about 8 or 9 years ago. Very soon after we moved in, a child was run over just outside the school.
The school applied to the local council for a zebra crossing, but were turned down on grounds of cost. So Yannick decided to stage a little protest.
I really believe in direct action, and I thought, right, I can do something about this. I don't need to spend £115,000 to do a zebra crossing. I got some old bits of lino, some drain pipes and some yellow party balloons and rigged up this pop-up zebra crossing. It looked so great and worked so well that the press came and took some photographs, and of course the local authority got wind of that. And lo and behold, a real zebra crossing got put in.
Success. But fast forward to today, and parents are now parking on the zebra crossing. So Yannick has put his thinking cap back on.
This is the latest contraption in the war against illegal parking and stopping outside the school. Cardboard cutout policeman. There's a CCTV camera here blinking. that doesn't actually have any film in it, but does the job of looking like it does. A poster that says what it's all about, and then a bit of fun, a blue flashing light. So it's not, I don't think that's illegal. I think if it was on a car, it would be, but I think we're okay. I'm confident that people will notice it. It looks pretty odd. But, you know, if it stops one person from stopping on the zebra crossing, then it's worth the 50 quid we spent on it.
We'll see how he gets on when he trials it later. Down the road from Kingston, young mother Lisa Mallion is planning her own campaign. She's lobbying for rules and regulations around parent and child parking.
This is the dedicated Facebook page for the Give Me Space campaign, and here people share their experiences of people misusing family bays. There's an example here of a van leaving just a ridiculous amount of space. There's no way she's going to be able to get back into that car.
Lisa wants more parent and child spaces, and for us to stop misusing them.
The problem with people misusing these spaces is that there's no rules. So all they see is a sign saying parent and child parking. That doesn't say to them that they're going to be fined if they park there. They just see it as, I can get away with this.
Today, Lisa has taken on her toughest challenge yet at a supermarket in Sutton, South London.
So I went on the Facebook group and asked mums, where are the worst perpetrators? Where are you finding it really difficult to get parked in parent and child spaces? So here we are.
The rules around parent and child parking are confusing and differ across the country and from one supermarket chain to the next. But nabbing a parking space without a child in this car park could cost you a fine of £70 if you get caught.
Excuse me, madam, do you have a child with you? Yeah. OK. Where is it? Oh, OK, cool, thank you.
But many childless motorists are prepared to chance it. They may regret that. Lisa is on the loose.
Excuse me, madam. Did you know that they issue fines for parking here without a child?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you've not got a child with you?
Yes.
Do you know how much the fine is?
Oh.
£70?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so you're going to leave them for parents in the future with
Yes.
young children? Okay,
Yes.
fair enough. Thank you.
No, it's not right place to park here. We should park somewhere else without having children. I feel sorry.
Where's your child?
Going to pick him up inside there now.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
okay. Well, we're going to stay here. It's a £70 on the spot fine, so you're definitely picking a child up.
Hopefully.
Okay. Excuse me. I've just spotted that you're in a parent and child space.
Okay.
And you're on a work day with no children.
Okay. I'm moving the car now.
Okay. Do you think it's all right to park here?
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you. It was basically, as I said, my equipment was so heavy, I parked as near as possible, and the first opportunity that came out, I was going to move the car, which I'm doing now.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate
So I apologise
you.
that, and I totally understand where you're coming from.
I really appreciate your response to having spoken to you.
I've got no argument.
Yeah,
I've got no argument.
That's good.
I'm in the wrong, and I'm moving the car.
Lovely, thank
All right.
you so much. Yeah.
For me, I was laying up some heavy equipment, and I needed to be near. Didn't want to be too far away from the area that I was going to. But you're right, it's for children and families, and people shouldn't park here. I've got no argument.
Yeah.
It seems her message is starting to get through.
He said he was sorry, and that's good. While I was speaking with the guy, the 3 grown men in the blue car actually decided that the risk was too high, so they decided to drive off. If they were policed, nobody would be parking in these spaces, especially with a £70 fine. What we're finding today is that people are actually sorry for parking there, which is good. It's progress. You know, smiles and apologies, which is really refreshing for me fighting this campaign.
Lisa is changing mindsets in this one car park. But with over 14,000 supermarkets around the country, it's going to take a lot of Lisas to really make a difference. She may need to look to the capital and the Houses of Parliament. Amongst the most abused parking spaces in Britain are disabled bays.
People who park on disabled place is not very good, because for disabled people it's very difficult
Around 12 million motorists park their cars illegally in disabled spaces each year. Across the country, there are 37,000 disabled parking bays. Doesn't matter whether you're a Premiership footballer or the Queen, it's an offence for anyone to park in one without displaying a valid blue badge. John Terry was accused of foul play when he parked his £200,000 Range Rover in a disabled bay in London. Crawley in Sussex has a population of 110,000, and with Gatwick Airport on its doorstep, it has a major parking shortage. Luckily, Crawley has CEO John. John cares about his hometown so much that at nearly 60, he came out of retirement to retrain as a CEO.
So even though I retired, I couldn't just literally sit about.
He wanted to tackle one of his big bugbears, disabled parking abuse.
I think of all the contraventions, the one that gets me back up a bit more is the disabled bay parking. They're there for a reason, for disabled people that have a need. When you see a vehicle in there with no blue badge shown, they should not be there, so it's an instant ticket. Got a van unloading in a disabled bay.
What's happening? I am sorry,
Can I give you that?
No.
Yeah, you're in a disabled bay.
Yeah, I am sorry. Please, boss.
No, you're in a disabled bay and you're unloading. You shouldn't be in here, okay? I'm sorry, but that's clearly marked on the sign.
I am delivered 5 minutes.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You don't have a blue disabled badge. It's
Why disabled?
It's there, look. Disabled people
I know. That's all right. 5 minutes, no problem.
No 5 minutes. Not allowed at any time. It's an instant notice if you're parked in a disabled bay, okay? It's an instant ticket. He's preventing someone disabled from using this bay. They just don't give a damn about the disabled person, and they come running back. I've only been a minute, and all the rest of it, and they start arguing the toss, but, they haven't got a blue badge, they shouldn't be there.
To park in a disabled bay, you need to have a blue badge as proof of a disability.
Everywhere I seem to go, people they don't give a monkeys about a disabled bay.
I know.
It don't piss me off. I think it's the world we live in, isn't it? I think people don't care.
I mean, they're for disabled people.
Hopefully we can nail these sods, Good luck, fellas.
You're in a disabled bay. You're in a disabled bay. And that one there. Okay.
But you can get a ticket, even with a blue badge.
It needs to be turned over. It's not facing up. We can't see the date because you haven't displayed the badge correctly. That's why you've got the ticket, so it needs to be turned over.
Like that.
It's not displayed correctly. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. It could be out of date.
I don't understand. Leave the camera. Leave the camera. Leave it.
Can't speak to you when you're like that. Okay. You can't reason with people when they're all hyped up like that. So it's not what they want to hear. They just want to hear that you're going to take the ticket away and cancel it, but which we can't do. Throw the ticket on the ground, shout abuse, they're not paying it, I'm not going to pay it, all sorts of baloney like that, so it just doesn't wash.
The abuse of blue badges is out of control, with an estimated half of them being used illegally. If you're caught committing this type of fraud, you can be prosecuted and fined up to £1,000.
Controlling the parking in the town is a constant battle. It's a game of cat and mouse,
Parking enforcing is demanding work, but it has its perks.
Doing a role helps you feel a bit younger than what you are and keeps you fit and healthy. I've probably gone down a trouser size, so I've had to pull my belt in a little bit tighter now. I like to snack when I'm walking around, but I snack on me nuts. Edit that. At the end of the day, when you finally get to sit down, you really feel you've deserved to sit down, so you've earned it. So.
He may have finished for today, but tomorrow will bring more challenges for this CEO and more people parking illegally in disabled bays.
What is she doing?
Our parking problems aren't just the fault of selfish parking.
Oh my God.
As a nation, we waste nearly 20% of valuable on-street parking through parking ineptitude.
She's got a big dent in her bonnet there.
If we all parked a little better, thousands more spaces would be available, and our lives would be that much easier. Like this driver, some of us badly need to learn to park. Luckily, help is on hand. There's one man who has made it his mission to teach people to park. Meet Andy Bennett.
I think as a nation, we do have a lot of people that are bad at parking, and I'm here to sort it.
His pupil today is 28-year-old poet and musician Abdi, but we'll call him by his other name.
My nickname is Diamond because I used to wear a lot of diamond rings. I would definitely describe my parking as terrible, awful. I actually think I'm the worst parker anywhere in the country. Maybe there's someone who's worse than me in Dagenham, I'm not sure. Oh, crap. Biggest weakness is parallel parking. When I tried to parallel park once, I opened the window and an elderly lady said to me, "Well, you're a terrible driver, you are." And I said, well, I agree with you there.
Diamond has booked 2 hours with Andy to turn his parking from tragic to magic.
Hello there.
Are you okay today?
I'm very well, thank you. I don't think I'm a good parker.
So you're talking about parallel parking?
Parallel parking, yes.
OK.
It strikes fear in many hearts, not just Diamond's. Almost half of us drive beyond our destination to avoid parallel parking. A third of us admit to asking a friend or family member to park for them. If we could all parallel park, it would help save time, money, and stress. And the key to being able to parallel park is to master reversing.
OK, so reverse.
Yet reversing is one of the top 10 reasons for us failing our driving tests.
I think we need to turn soonish.
Okay.
Now, okay.
Yeah?
There we go. So if I go, I'm going to keep going straight.
Diamond's reversing is not exactly sparkling.
And then the next ones are...
Well, it looks like we're not going to get the next ones.
We're not.
Can you see them?
Oh, we're not, no.
Oh dear, that's not a great start. Diamond's in the rough.
I think we're going to miss those ones as well. Oh dear.
Go on, keep coming round. And what we'll do is we'll miss them too, and we'll get to the next ones.
The next ones, OK, so...
And a bit of grass tracking at the minute.
I've lost 2 points. I've never put so much into parking. Oh my God.
Yeah, that'll do us. That's it.
Relax. Oh, wow. Slightly more nervous now, Andy, I'll be honest with you.
We'll see Diamond attempt to parallel park later. In Kingston, inventor Yannick Reid is hoping to make positive changes too. He's already come up with the pop-up zebra crossing.
You don't get many of these.
And he's in the Guinness Book of World Records, twice.
I built the world's smallest caravan. And I also built the world's loudest bicycle horn.
Now he wants to put the kibosh on selfish parking outside his local school.
The problem with parking around schools is a nationwide problem. So I have built another contraption to try and police the zebra crossing, and it's literally police it.
Today he's going to trial his latest creation, the silent policeman.
People might say, well, you know, you're sticking your nose into people's business and all this is very eccentric and sort of balmy, but there's actually, you know, there's a serious story behind it. So, yeah, it does wind me up, yeah, for sure.
As many as 1,000 children a month are injured on roads around British schools, including this one.
We all assumed that getting the zebra crossing installed would be the end of the story and that would provide a kind of sanctuary on the road for kids to cross, but unfortunately, some people have just used it as kind of, you know, empty space in the road to park.
Just as the school bell rings...
Right, that's ready.
The silent policeman is ready for action.
Well, it's generating a bit of interest, isn't it, already? Which is good. Drivers now, really annoyingly, park on the zebra crossing, so we built this to try and make them feel embarrassed about it. Yeah.
Have you made this?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I've become like a proper busybody.
Yannick can't help himself. He's spotted a selfish parker.
I'm one of these terribly embarrassing dads.
The problem we have now is that cars stop on the zebra crossing, like you were stopped.
Usually they just look at me in a sort of bewildered way, like, who is this nut job coming to sort of talk to me in my car?
No, I know that parking is a problem. Parking is a problem. You know, we've had a kid knocked over here. It's really serious, you know. So we're trying to kind of just raise awareness that, you know, it's important and, you know, we want to keep all the kids safe. Thank you.
If the silent policeman does his job, Yannick won't have to be an embarrassing dad anymore.
It's really, really simple. If you have to drive your car to school, which I do sometimes, you park around the corner and you do it safely.
I'll build 12 by this time next month.
Well done.
Thank you. Does it get your thumbs up?
Oh, yes, yeah, it would definitely help. Keep going, Yannick. I think it will help. It will just make people think and be aware and think about what they're doing when they're parking their car, especially around a school.
It seemed to go down well. People seem to give it the thumbs up. Whether it stops people parking on the zebra crossing, well, we'll have to see. I may still have to talk to the occasional driver.
Ask Mummy. You ask Mummy when you see her.
I am proud of what I've achieved. I hope people are inspired by it. I hope that parents around the country who are facing the same kind of problems and challenges, you know, I hope they take inspiration from it and think, you know what, we're not going to put up with this.
In South London, Mum, Lisa Mallion, is preparing to take her own fight against parking to the next level.
We've got a petition and so far 4,192 people, they've signed the petition. I don't do things by half. I really mean for this campaign to make positive change. I want government to listen.
Lisa wants to lobby government to introduce parent and child parking in all our car parks.
The Prime Minister and the Cabinet really need to listen to this campaign now, and they need to listen before something dreadful happens.
Just arrived in London on my way to Westminster to talk to my local MP, Paul Scully. I think doing it in person is absolutely key. He's influential in government. He's a very good person to be taking this up with.
There's a lot riding on this meeting.
Government are going to have to listen to us, and I won't stop until it does.
If Lisa can persuade Paul Scully to support her campaign, she has a better chance of getting a bill through Parliament.
Thank you so much for coming out and talking to me. The whole reason I'm doing this is about safety. At some point, something will happen. And it will be at that point that government ministers will wish that they'd listened and that they'd really done something about this. The reality is that 83% of parents want to see government do something.
I think there's three things that I can do. The first thing is to ask a question of the Minister to get an immediate response. The second thing, I'm happy to do a longer debate. It gives me more detail and a Minister has to respond. And the third thing is retailers. I'll certainly follow that up and ask them myself.
Thank you so
well
much.
Well done on all the hard work that you've been doing.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll get a result.
Yeah, absolutely. Together we will. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I think it went really well. It's really encouraging, and it means now that we're really going to see, hopefully, ministers take notice and make positive change.
Parking causes us Brits a great deal of inconvenience. It affects so many of us every day. It's a daily ordeal for our delivery drivers.
People's attitudes is selfish almost. I'm going to park here, I don't care what it does to anybody else. It's just anyone and everyone out for themselves.
But for buses, it can mean the difference between running a service to time or running late, which makes unhappy customers and frustrated drivers.
Even when they park properly, it's a nightmare. But when they park bad, it's even worse.
You're just going to sit here all night, are you? He can't reverse. Are you going to sit here all night? Just go back.
One badly parked car at the side of the road brought the whole bus services to a halt. 2 hours mayhem. I think it's madness, yeah.
People do not
give a damn where they park. They park on a narrow part of the road, they're just parked in bus stops.
You're literally that close to a car as you're going past them.
Frequently it drives you around the bend. You feel like it is bus drivers against the world.
This bus driver in Birmingham has found himself in a tight spot.
There's a lorry delivering beer. This stupid moron parks right opposite. And look at the cars, they can barely squeeze through. So, how's a bus meant to get through?
And in the ancient city of Bath, with its narrow historic streets attracting over 4.8 million visitors a year, it's a problem they know all too well.
In Bath, the parking is horrendous. Got some very narrow streets. There's way too many cars and it's getting worse.
It is a battle between car driver and bus driver, yeah.
The Great British Bus has been a cornerstone of our transport system since 1895. If more people use them, there'd be less cars on our roads and less pollution.
Can't get through. It just cannot get through down there. There's not enough room.
But bus journeys in England were down 70 million last year from the year before.
Now we've got another one. Oh, great. It's always double parked.
Well, maybe this is why. When a bus can't squeeze through, there's nothing they can do but wait.
Well, this happened last week. I've had to mount the pavement to try and get around this vehicle. If you can see there, that's the gap between myself and the parked vehicle. No exaggeration, there's probably sort of centimetres either side. And if you go to the front of the bus, you can see I'm almost touching the wall there. The situation here was completely avoidable and it happens on a daily occurrence.
Beulah Stenner is on her daily route and it's an obstacle course of parked cars.
He shouldn't be parked, well, on a junction like this, he shouldn't be parked there anyway. That can be a serious issue at times.
Kelston View in Bath is a notorious street that all the bus drivers dread.
This is a bad road. We've had a few incidents where cars have been hit.
It's not just a nightmare for the drivers, it has a knock-on effect for the residents.
This is a major bus route, so you can sometimes get 2 or 3 buses coming along the road at the same time. It's just impossible for them to get past. I've had my own car hit 3 times over the last 3 years, and that really is down to the volume of cars parked and buses trying to squeeze through.
As with so many streets across the country, there are just too many cars and not enough space.
He's just had his car hit along Shaw's Way. Yet again, my wife's car got done. There you go, look at that. There you go. Is that van been hit as well? Oh, bloody hell. Oh, no.
Buses and coaches are the most common vehicles on the road to be involved in an accident. But it's not just buses. Over a third of us have had their car pranged at least once in a parking-related incident, which equates to 30% of all accidents and £2.6 billion of damage each year. Which is why parking wizard Andy is on a mission to teach Britain to park. Today, he is schooling one of the nation's most tragic parkers.
Nervous.
Diamond. He's about to face his greatest fear, parallel parking.
Parallel parking. I think I've just parallel parked once in my life, and it took me about 10 or 20 minutes.
Even the most careful and experienced of us can find parallel parking a challenge. Like this hapless motorist.
She's just gonna leave it there, isn't she?
In a recent survey of 1,000 people, drivers said it takes them an average of 5 attempts to parallel park successfully. And more than 1 in 10 of us refuse to perform the manoeuvre at all, which might be the best policy for this driver. So this may sound like teaching your grandmother to suck eggs, but here are the golden rules. Stay calm and take your time. It's not a race. Be cool and composed.
Oh my days, this is
just take a few deep breaths.
Diamond, get a grip. Check the space is big enough. In an ideal world, you would want 2 foot of air at both ends.
We line up this window
Yeah.
with the same window on that car.
Okay.
One complete revolution. That's it. Only one. That's 1 1/4. There we go.
And listen to your parking sensors if you've got them. They're there for a reason.
So stop there because of the cones, because you've just hit the cones.
Oh dear,
That's what all that bleeping was.
So I actually hit the curb?
The cones.
The cones?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So what we're going to do, put it into first gear, and we're going to pull forward, but steer that way.
When your car is close to the curb, you should be clear of the car in front. Then you can turn the steering wheel to bring the front of your car parallel to the pavement.
That's it, you're in.
Wow. When it comes to parallel parking, had a few issues. I would describe myself as an okay parker. You know, I've still got some work to do.
Diamond's parallel parking leaves a lot to be desired. But there is hope for him. In a few years, all of his parallel parking misery might become a thing of the past. Self-parking cars are on the horizon, and the government claims they could revolutionise driving for all of us.